Gone with the Wind would have been Gone with the Wind. Had Clark Gable did that. But they had Hattie McLuhan. And so they asked her about the racial discrimination. And her reply was, you know, I'd rather own a maid, play a maid, that I can one day own a maid, have a maid. And you know what? I could see her better than that Step It Fetch It. He was just too much. Now, Uncle Tom, I liked Uncle Tom. I'm going to tell you why. When people say, oh, he's Uncle Tom, I say, no, he's not smart enough to be Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
Uncle Tom had a psychology. When white men thought that they were so smart, Uncle Tom was the first master psychologist. The first. He thought, and I mean, he took great deliberation in his activity on that plantation for his salvation. They got more guns than me. They can take me away from my children. They can take me away from my wife. I see how they're sexually taking these other black men for stereoculturization. What can I do? I'm nothing but a slave. Then he says, that's it. I gotta go through the course of being a slave. But which part of being a slave I got an advantage over the white man? He sat back, he observed him, he looked at him. He says, he's really fragile. I noticed these particular white men, they even abused it. The other white slaves that was here before me, see, he already knew what had happened. The Irish slaves. So Uncle Tom had the psychology. He knew the difference between just an Ebonite and a Caucasoid. He said, this is a Caucasoid. I see what he did to the Ebonite. But where's my vantage point? Studying. Find out what he likes. Really find out what he likes. I'm going to do some character playing here. Uncle Tom had a nephew named, I like to call him Ebo. He wasn't Mandingo. And people want to know why black women were so easily available. Well, Uncle Tom's nephew was the first pimp on the plantation. He ran the black girls for the white men, and he turned around and brought Mandingo through the back door for the white women.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Pimping! Now, Uncle Tom says, we got them. We know what they do in the bedroom.
Oh, okay.
He found that kink in both of their arms. Keep on doing that. See, because the white man's ego, and probably still is today, is that the pinnacle of it is his sexualization. Yeah. White man is over-sexualized, but he knows how to cover it up because he got the liberty to. Look at our average child pedophile. Look at him. Just look at him. I'm just being honest. These sheriffs and judges, computers full of child pedophiles.
Right. They busted the CIA with how many? 150 men was being investigated because they had child porn.
How you do, bro?
You all right?
I'm all right.
And nothing happened to them, of course.
Yeah, they could cover it up.
Slept under the rug.
That's why they can do it. So what Uncle Tom found out, he says, now you know what? They don't like their business out. So I'm just going to be conveniently there. Ebo, you keep on setting it up. I call it shaking bed sheets in the shadow of the moon. keep on shaking them bed sheets in the shadow of the moon. Because Ebo know one old big man was gonna go out and deal with the black girls. And she watched his wife. His wife knew what she was out there doing. And Uncle Tom says,
Whose wife?
Master's wife.
Okay.
They studied her like she's frustrated. Because she whooped the hell out of them black girls if they caught them.
Right.
But she was sexually frustrated. But they watched her when she would go to the field on the carrots and she would see the sweat coming off that mandingo. Ebo says, I know what she likes. Uncle Tom had control over the house. He say, start having stuff for neither of them to come up to the house. I'll set up the meet. And I believe Massa halfway knew Mandingo was getting his wife. The only reason why they would hang it would come out. And there were white men that did not believe in white men with black women. And then it would come out he was with the black women. That's why they had to hang him. Uh-oh, 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 up. Paramare, 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 paramare.
What's that mean?
Outside romance and love and outside of marriage. So Uncle Tom found all this out about his ego. They never got rid of him. They never got rid of his relatives. He became a black spider that weaved a web around him. That's Uncle Tom.
Good man.
Smart. People say, oh, you just Uncle Tom. I say, oh, thank you.
Yeah, right.
You mean to
that's what
tell me
I
I'm
always
a
thought.
genius? I'm a genius. You got to get it to Ebo. The first pimp he was a black boy on the plantation. He was pimping. And he got what he wanted. Matter of fact, him and Uncle Tom could go to town without anybody following him. Why would they want to leave? They controlling everything. They were living better than a lot of white folk. That's the part where they thought he was Uncle Tom because he was snitching. No.
He's running things.
He's running things. See, people got the history all backwards.
Yeah, that's intentional.
That white man did everything that he wanted him to do as long as he stroked the white man's and he knew the docility. And he knew the false docility that the white woman always wanted to be on the plateau. And so he started teaching the black women that raised pet her. Just pet her. She's fragile. If you pet her, you get anything you want. In other words, they took the white people and glued them to themselves. How you like to say coalescence? Let me say ligaturization. And oh no, they didn't mix them with the others. Because they weren't going to sell them. It had gotten so to the point where a white slave owner daughter got the meanest slave and made a baby with him. She gave him his freedom and kept the baby. And it never got out.
Never. What do you mean?
Nobody ever knew it. Of course you had real mulattoes. Real mulattoes is when your daddy is white and your mom is black. That's a real mulatto. That's a pure mulatto.
Oh, I didn't know that.
A lot of people say, oh, he's a no.
I thought mulatto was when you got like half white skin, half black skin.
That's not just it. A pure mulatto is a white man and a black woman. And they were put in places that they did the pecking order on the color. And see, he knew that was his dad, so they placed them a lot over the other blacks.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
That's why
Yeah.
when you would go there, you even had black slave owners.
That's why you had the lighter the black man, the more power they had over the darker black man.
Because that was the master's son. Some of them even owned black slaves.
One of the biggest slave owners in the South was a black man.
And treated the slaves worse than the average white slave owner. Treated them worse. Beyonce. She comes from the heritage of a black man that owned the slaves. Yeah, in her family. Alicia Keys. On her white side of the family.
Kamala Harris,
Was
her family was slave owners.
you know, so you know, I don't have no skin in the game, no roll on the dice, no dog in the race, no dog in the fight to lose to tell these things. You know, so it goes up, upon those lines of sophism and truisms of said paraphonics, meaning the history, the science of telling history. No, it's the science, it's the silencing of history.
Let's cut it off right there. If you have any questions for Preach, you can contact me. My iPod address is Shunka, SHUNKAH @iCloud.com. Shunka means dog. That's an Indian word.
Shuka. That was just impressive.